because this is so important. There is just so much going on right now. And I think what's important for all of us to sit back, take a breath, and think, what is it going to take for us to get through this? And I think that one of the most important things we can do is have patience, because things are changing as we speak all over the country, and even here at Fullerton, and even in our class. I have not yet, for example, decided what to do with iClicker. It was all, all my energy was spent on taking the lessons online with Zoom. I'm going to be looking at everything else and things. I'm going to try things out, like I told you about polling and all that kind of stuff. Some of it won't work. Just don't laugh too hard at me. But some will, and I just need your patience, and I'll be patient with you too. So, if things come up, just let me know, because we all have to be flexible. And the other thing is, take care of each other. Your number one priority over this next class semester, your number one priority is taking care of yourself. That's it. Mute, please. Somebody's got some background going on.
No, don't turn on the camera.
No, it's group class time. What class is it?
Yeah, I can't tell who's got the background. I'm trying. Can anybody see who's got the background noise going on? Sometimes you can see it better than I can. You'll see it by their microphone next to their... There you go. I think you muted. Anyway, take care of each other, guys. Take care of your family. That's your number one priority above everything else. So things come up, somebody gets sick, just let me know. Communicate. Be flexible. Like I said, things are going to change rapidly. And I think one of the key things, let's communicate. Things happen, email me right away. I'll email you. I promise you. Engagement. I need you to be here. This is our class. This is our virtual class. For those of you who haven't had a virtual class before, I think you're going to enjoy it. I think you'll like Zoom. We'll get through it together. And last but not least, here's where the humor comes in, guys. You have to laugh, because here's what we're all looking like now, and here's what we're going to look like in a couple weeks, okay?
Oh, man.
So,
I'm halfway there. I need a shave.
Oh, Lord, this is going to be scary. This is going to be so scary.
Oh, man.
Just be mindful of who's looking at you. That's all I can say. Be mindful of what they're seeing there.
I know.
So what we're going to do, our classes will all be live. Fullerton has given us a lot of leeway on whether the professors, how they want to conduct their online, if we want to do it live. I've decided to keep our same days, same times, and we're going to have Zoom sessions. Now, they're going to look different. They're going to feel different, because there's no way I can lecture for 45 minutes on Zoom, or no way would you want me to. So we're going to be doing a lot of different things. But in a nutshell, our classes are going to be on Zoom, same day, same time. Now, for Wednesday, I'm going to send you that call in ahead of Wednesday, just like I did for today, okay? And then I'll give you clear instructions on if they stay the same or if they're going to change. And I know we've got a lot of good comments going on. I know everybody hates when somebody hates what's going on. I get you, I know. But you know what? We don't have a choice right now. And I think if we do these things, if we stay flexible, keep our sense of humor, take care of each other, we're going to be okay. And at the end of the day, you guys are going to come out a lot better for it. Trust me. You're going to have stories to tell, and you're going to have a lot to laugh at.
Just chatting.
Let's talk about, okay. Everybody can hear. Here's some audio issues. I don't need to flip that up. You guys can all hear, right?
Yes.
All good on that? If you get an echo, it's either because somebody has a computer and phone together, or you've got some speakers too close, or you have multiple people in the same room. So what you want to do is, if you join by computer and phone, you want to enter your participant ID when calling in, or enter #ID#, if you're already called in, and it will merge you, or manually leave the audio, the computer. But you only need one or the other, okay?
The computer works the best though, huh?
Yeah, it depends on your setting, honestly.
Okay.
I have my computer in a docking station that's removed away from me, so I can't use my computer. That's why I use a phone. What do you guys think? I'll open it up to you on the phone. What do you prefer?
I'm not sure. I'm on the computer. The computer works fine.
I'm on a laptop also, but I can do phone or laptop. Either one works.
You know, if you're doing fine on the computer, leave it that way. Totally, whatever. I strongly suggest though you not put your video on your mobile phone. You're not going to be able to take full advantage of all the features we're going to do. If you can, I think the best scenario, and I know there's a lot of challenges right now. I know some of you don't have this. Oh, there you are. Hello. But if you can, use your computer for audio, for video. David, did you want to say something?
No.
You're just saying hi? That's a good point. I'm glad you were waving at us, because here's two ways you can join the conversation, guys. You all have the participant window flipped up. Let me show you how if you don't. Hang on. Your attendee controls. You have to scroll over them and they'll pop up like this. And that's where you can mute and you can unmute. And if you click on this right here, that's your audio set. So if you, participant, click on your participant window and everybody will pop up. And at the bottom of your participant window, do you see where you can raise a hand or say yes or no and all that good stuff? So that's a fun way to say, I want to say something. So you have several different options for popping in here. Number one, you can raise your hand, and I hope I see it, but with 120, I might not see it. Number two, you can do what you did, David, and just number three, chat it out to us. You guys have found your chat, obviously, right?
Yeah.
It's in that same bar if you click on chat. There's a funky kind of thing going on with Zoom that you need to be aware of. Zoom will always default to the last person you chatted with. So if you sent me a private message and then you go to send another message out, it'll default to me. So make sure you check who it's going to.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys got the hang of chat. I'm looking at our chats right now to see if there's anything I want. Ooh, 99-cent store, huh, Vitor? And you bought 32 body washes. That's funny. Computer's better, yeah. You can only send to everyone or the host. I really don't want side chats going on, at least for right now. No advice on stock, okay, Anto? Yeah, I'm looking at chat right now. Also, I'll check it here and there, but if I don't see your chat message coming up, raise your hand, guys. Oh, you're eating there, Jesus. You're not you're not waving. So you got the hang of the controls, right? And here's your participant controls. You can lower you guys can play around with those controls if you want, by the way. See how they work. Let's talk about what's happening. I want to talk about what's happening in our class. And you guys don't, just like in class, don't hesitate to just shout something out if you have a question, okay? Or chat it out. But we're not going to have class Monday, March 23rd. You guys all know that?
Yeah.
Okay. School will close that day. all of our future classes are going to be on Zoom, unless you're notified otherwise. And I'm going to work in some opening questions and ending questions so that every Zoom session we're going to open with a question, and every session we're going to end with a question. Oh, Erica, glad you're doing okay on your iPad. That's good to know. Watch our class. Oh, I really need to stress this. I'm getting emails a lot, and some people are not seeing this announcements. I will put everything in announcements. So are you guys pretty used to checking on our announcements on our course page every day?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you get an auto message when I put something in? Do you have to change your settings so it'll auto email you every time I put something in announcements?
No, it goes straight to the email.
It does? So you don't have to change your setting, huh?
No. It posted on Titanium message and then it emails us too.
Oh, cool. Okay. So we're all good on that. So I don't have to email you anymore, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm not going to, because I know you're probably getting a ton of messages from everybody right now and you're overloaded. So I won't burden you any further, and I'll just put everything future on Titanium. In Titanium on our class page, you're going to see both the Monday and Wednesday meeting links. So I'll make it very clear. I'll put something out there and says here, I just wanted to send it out via email last night to get you in here. After that, I'll put everything and I'll make it very clear. We've got somebody who wants us to keep emailing you just in case. Is that really necessary though? I thought you guys automatically get an email when I post something.
I do titaniums.
Leah, go ahead.
I get the emails, but I usually get them when anyone like announces something. I don't know if there's like a problem where it like emails some people or not, but it works for me.
You might want to check with IT and make sure there's no problem. You've got the right email address in there. And your settings are correct. Can you do that?
Everyone gets an automatic email when you post to their school account, to their school email.
Yeah.
Pardon me, Deanna, repeat that, please.
Whenever you post something on announcements, everyone gets a notification to their school email.
Okay, so make sure your school email is in there, right? And that it's correct. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Okay, LinkedIn. Somebody just asked a question about LinkedIn. I don't have the exact deadline. I'll look that up. I think it's in middle of April. And I would prefer to not move that back because I've already moved back the checkpoint deadline right here. You see it right there. I've moved these things back till the checkpoint is now Friday at midnight and the market simulation is moved to April 22nd. And I know that I have something in assignments about Q3. Oh, it's in our syllabus, I guess, about Q3 market simulation due. I'm going to take that out because I don't care how long it takes you to get through the marketplace simulation exercise, because the whole purpose of asking you to get Q3 done by a specific date was because I wanted to see how you were all doing by that time, and I wanted to give a review. But I'm afraid that you have so much going on that there's a lot of pressure now to adapt to not just our class, but all different classes. I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to say just go at your own speed until the deadline of April 22nd. If you happen to have it done within the original deadline for Q3, when I said I'd like to have all Q3, that's fine because I'll be able to give you more about your progress, more insight. but it's not going to affect your grade at all. You don't have to have Q3 done by that deadline. So I'll take that away. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Market simulation, you guys can go solo. I would expect, and correct me if I'm wrong, that for our group project exercises, you've got 2-person teams for the market simulation, and you also have groups, big groups for your marketing plan, right? And I would expect that you can continue to work on those, and you can work on them virtually as a team, because you can use Google Hangouts, you can use, you all have a Zoom account as a student, use whatever you want. You use whatever tool you like best, but I would assume you can continue to work on that collaboratively. If you are not able to do that for any reason, send me an email. But likewise too, if you're partnering up with somebody to go together on market simulation and you have not been able to touch base with that person for whatever reason, no judgment, but it's just not working between the two of you, you guys can go solo if you want. You can break up your 2-people teams. Now, if you do that, I don't need to do anything on my side. You just, one of the 2 of you need to pick a different team by yourself. So you'll pick out a whole new team number on the drop down. Does that make sense? If you have any questions on this, call the Marketplace Simulation phone number and ask them, tell them you're on a 2-person team and you want to go solo. They'll walk you through it. The only thing you lose is you lose it's not going to affect your grade at all. You just lose the ability to collaborate on everything, because I really think 2 heads are better than 1 on that. So if one of you want to break off and you say, okay, I'm going to go on my own, whoever breaks off, you're going to lose that past work and you're going to have to make your own decisions on everything. So you 2 need to be in sync on that, right? You need to be talking to each other and saying, hey, I think I'm going to break off if that's okay. And if you're the one that breaks off, then you're going to start over. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions on that, guys?
Yeah.
Questions?
Nothing really.
No? Okay. Okay.
Oh, the first two checkpoints, that was basically just the name and getting started, right?
Yeah, you're right. The first 2 quarters where you
Okay.
name your company. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The big decisions come in around Q3.
3, okay.
By the
Professor, I have a
way,
question.
yeah, go ahead.
On the screen that you're sharing, it says checkpoint deadline move to Friday 3/20. Is that the group project checkpoint?
It is. I'm really sorry for not clarifying that.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Thank you.
That's the group project.
Got it.
How are you
I'm
going to give us feedback on the checkpoint? Are you just going to email us back with your feedback, or?
Yeah, you know what I've done before is put all my comments in titanium on the assignment. And I'll put the same comments for all of you. So if there's 8 people on your team, I'll copy and paste for all 8 of you individually. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Someone has their mic open and they're watching videos. We can hear it.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for muting, guys.
Also,
We need
if
to
you
be-
guys, if you guys want to be muted and then talk when you feel like it, if you go on mute and you press the space bar, it's a push to talk.
Ooh, that's good to know. I read that somewhere, but I've never done it. Do you have to click it twice or just once, Leah?
Oh,
Just
you
once.
just hold it down, huh? Oh, that works.
Does the space bar toggle back to mute you? Does it toggle back and forth, or just to
Yeah,
unmute
so
only?
Yeah.
so you hold it and you can speak, and then when you let go of the space bar, it mutes you.
Yeah, that's a pretty
Oh,
cool
nice.
function.
Nice. Yeah, thanks. You know, and that's exactly why I don't like to mute you guys. you can mute the whole session as a teacher, but I don't like it because you'll help each other up. You'll be able to point each other through these things. So thank you for offering that. The makeup exam, I still plan it on the same date, but here's the deal. Here's the deal on all the exams. Right now, I'm planning on putting them all online on Titanium. They won't be that much different than video book. They'll be timed, and you'll get plenty of time. I haven't designed them yet, but you'll have full instructions where to find. There's a functionality on Titanium on the quiz that everything will be able to be, and you'll get random questions. There will be no short answers. So for next week's exam, plus the final, plus the makeup, I expect all of them to be on Titanium on the quiz function. Have any of you used that before, by the way?
I have.
Dawson, you've used it? Maria? Oh, you have. How does it work? Using an exam on Titanium. It's called Quiz on Titanium. How did it work for you? Just curious.
It's like doing it through any sort of online thing like Cengage or whatever. You would have to, I guess, figure out how to get your exam in, but if it's multiple choice, you can do that easily. It'll accept short answers. And if you need anything like written out, you could also have us submit documents.
Got it. How did it work from your perspective? Did it work good when you were taking it?
It's easier than a lot of the, I guess, commercial solutions like Cengage or Wiley, I think.
Oh, really? How did you find it compared to video book?
It's about the same. It's all multiple choice.
Pretty similar, huh? Giselle, did you have a question? I see your hands raised. Well, thanks. That's good feedback. It's good to know. Brian, you had your hand raised? Or no, thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Yeah, just playing around with it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Sarah, I wish I could just make video book our exam. We're talking about that, actually. We're talking as a group with the Marketing 351 professors about if we can do that, if we can, and how that would work. So stay tuned on that. There's a lot. Okay, we got background going on somewhere. There's a lot going on that we just don't have answers for yet. So be patient with us. As soon as we iron it out, we'll let you know. But that's the initial plans. Not sure yet on the time that you'll be given. I would expect it would be 50 to 60 minutes, something like that, maybe 60. Chris, yeah, there's some questions on video book that I forwarded your feedback. Some of you have given me feedback that they were wrong. I see this coming up in chat. I'm going to save all your chat messages too, by the way. So whatever you guys put on chat, I'm going to save it and look it over later. So if I can't get to it, I'll reach out to you afterwards. So study guide for exam 2, you'll have it by the end of this week. All your other course requirements remain the same. Now, what haven't we talked about yet?
I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
So for the midpoint, were we going to have to submit that individually or just one person for the group?
You only submit one for the whole group.
For sure.
But make sure on your submission that you give me the names of everybody so I can give everybody equal credit.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. Not sure about how many questions on the exam yet. I would expect maybe possibly all multiple choice, 25, 4 points each, no short answer. That's my first out of the gate. I have to tackle that tomorrow.
I have a question, Professor.
Yep.
For the outline, the group project, what are you looking for on the outline?
Oh, let's talk about that. That's a great question. I'm going to share a different screen with you here. And I'm going to go right into the marketing plan. So can you guys see my screen where the marketing plan outline is there? This is part of the document that is online. I can't remember if I put it under supplemental materials or part of the assignment. Anyway, when you scroll down, you'll see all the outline requirements. I would expect out of all of these, 1 or 2 sentences, not much, really high level. So for example, under situation analysis, just tell me who your overall customers are. And if you want to give any more than that, maybe a little bit about the context, why you chose that situation or that company. Bullets, very high level. Now, if some of you have already written out a lot of these sections, hand it in, but it's not required, because the more you have, the more I can give you feedback on, and the further ahead you'll be, right?
So bullet points are fine for each portion of it?
Yes, very high level.
How about for sections like financial, where we have to research further and like know more about how we're manufacturing it and stuff?
We're going to do, that's a good question. We're going to do a exercise in Wednesday's class on financials. That'll give you a lot more insight. However, for right now, for the purpose of this checkpoint, on the financials, I'm more interested in what you're going to look at, not what the numbers are, but what are you going to look at to determine whether or not you have a return on your investment. I mean, if you're going to be opening up a food truck, are you going to be measuring the cost of food, your labor, your foot traffic, so you can determine what your total revenue might be? So what's your pricing strategy? What are you going to look at high level? All the buckets that you're going to look at.
Thank you.
Got it.
Now, on the executive summary here, this is the part that I hope you can give me more information. Give me enough. That's why I asked in the requirements that if you could give me enough to give you some really good feedback, so that I can give you input on your style, your writing style, whether I would suggest that you, check your paragraphs better or put more structure or whatever it is. So give me enough that I can, if you can, write out your executive summary. The more the better on that. Everything else, high level bullets. What else? Good questions, guys. Uh-oh. That was an unmute that went kind of wrong. Anyway, no other questions on your project? If you are thinking because of this remote situation that your group projects are really going to hurt or suffer, or you can't get your group together, or for whatever reason, send me a private email and tell me what's happening. Remember that, otherwise I'm going to trust that you guys are all going full speed ahead and you're able to work collaboratively remotely. Remember that you also have that at the end of the project, you have that form you fill out that rates everybody's contribution. So I'm going to look at that pretty carefully. And if one of you on the team, say there's 5 of you on the team, 5, and one of the 5 rates somebody low, that they only gave 50%, but everybody else gave them 100%, I'm probably not going to factor that in. But if all of you are telling me that one member only gave 50% or 60%, I'll probably factor that in. Does that make sense? And if you do that, if you rate somebody lower, tell me why. Don't just say she only gave 50% effort. Tell me why you said that. Did she not go to meetings? Do you see what I mean? Now, that form is online as well, I think, under supplemental material, or it might be under the assignment. I can't remember where I put it.
Professor, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other professors are scaling back the group projects, especially with business classes. Do you have any intentions of doing so regarding yours?
Not at this time, because I already scaled it back quite a bit from the last semester. I had even more. I'm going to see how it progresses. If there is serious concerns because of people getting sick or collaboration tools or whatever, I'll readdress that. I'm not saying I'm inflexible. I will be flexible because I think we're in a very, very different time right now. This is like, you guys have heard this over and over. This is almost like a war environment, right? It's unprecedented. I mean, I haven't seen this since I went through 9/11, and even that wasn't to this drastic measure.
Yeah.
So having said all that, I understand what's going on and I'll readdress it. But at this point, I'm going to leave it as is and see unless you guys bring me big issues. And I'll be really honest with you. All my other classes said when they hunkered down and got this plan together, it allowed them to apply in real life to their own business, and it really allowed them to learn much more than any other tool. And some of you might decide to put it out on your LinkedIn profile as a project, and you might use it in the interview. So it can help you. It really can. I will be also giving, I think I've planned a session, a work session also, so you have that full 1 or 2 sessions. So I don't know how that's going to work remote. If I'm just going to open it up to, say, office hours, and you guys all show up and work. I have the ability on Zoom, and I haven't done it yet. So remember what I said about being patient with me? I've done a lot of Zoom meetings in corporate, but not in my big classes, some of my small classes. But I haven't done it in a big class like this, where I can break you all into small groups of 4 to 5 or 6 or 7 each within Zoom. So within our class session, I can break you out, assign you to groups, and then have you work among yourselves in that group. So I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. So we have some options is what I'm saying, to give you some work time. But one thing I don't expect you guys to get together in person. You really shouldn't need to, unless you tell me a good reason. Any other questions on that?
I have a question as well, Professor.
Mm-hmm.
Under the financials part of the checkpoint, it says provide a ROMI, return on marketing initiative, as completed in class exercise. Did we do that?
No, we're going to do it Wednesday. We're going to do it Wednesday.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
And I think when you do it, you're going to find it's really pretty easy. Satori, thank you for chatting that out. You're using GroupMe. Okay. That's good to know. Hey, you guys, you know what? One of these advantages of us doing live Zoom is you guys can chat with each other and help each other. And I see your comments about video book, guys. I'm not ignoring them. I'm not going to take a vote, though. But I hear your comments, okay? Any other questions on the projects, the group projects specifically, or the exams for that matter? Or anything else we're doing? By the way, let me take a quick poll. We're going to do something here. I want to hear from you. So I've never done this before. Be patient. Let me try it. Do you see it?
Yep. Yep.
Can you vote on this for me? Wow, this is fast, isn't it?
Yeah, that was easy. That was really good.
Much better. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna use iClicker for remote. This will work just as fine, I think. Right now.
Very cool.
Go ahead. Are you guys able to see everybody else's votes? The results?
No.
No.
No? Okay, okay. Let me share it with you. I can't share it until I end the polling. So you can't see it in progress, but I'll end it and share. Right now, I have 92 voted and 113 are on this call.
Does it keep track of our responses so we still get the points like we were in iClicker, or?
Boy, good question, Deanna. I haven't decided yet. I really don't know what I'm going to do with that. When it comes to grading, I am going to be overly fair on this because I know these are extenuating circumstances. So I'm going to be very generous, okay? You don't need to worry about that. As soon as I get it figured out, I spent most of the weekend adjusting the syllabus and working on Zoom. So I haven't yet tackled some of the grading aspects. So I'll get to that shortly. So you guys, I have right now 100. Oh, this is working pretty good. I have 100 out of 112. So some of you can't vote because you're on mobile, maybe? I don't know. So there's 6 people on. Let me show you guys the results just for fun. You see it?
Yeah, I see it.
So we got 7 of you on other. Is that a desktop?
For me, that is.
It is?
Some people said they were using an iPad, so that might be a factor too.
Yeah, that's right. It could be your tablets, right? But that's the majority of you are on laptop. That's good. Now, here's I know I figured this out myself. I would strongly suggest you guys bring in, I know we hate doing it because you take all your notes on your laptops. Just put some paper and pen next to your laptop so you can write things down because you're going to be watching the video and responding on chat. So I strongly suggest you always bring with you some paper, pen. I think you'll be much more productive. So 3/4 of you have done an online class before. Well, that's good. I should have asked how many of you in an online class have done live synced Zoom sessions. So 1/4 of you have used Zoom. Huh, that's good to know. So thanks for playing around with me on this, guys. This is really helpful. I'm going to do something else. I want to share a whiteboard so that we can get used to it. Have you guys done whiteboard annotation? So let me show you where your annotation tools are. Okay. You guys see my screen where it talks about annotation? Do you see that? You're going to have to go up to the top, click on View Options. There you go. And then click on Annotate. Not original size, but Annotate. When you do that, your floating toolbar is going to come up, your floating annotation toolbar, and you're going to be able to do all kinds of stuff like what you're doing there. Okay. So I'm going to do a totally new whiteboard. And watch what happens when I flip up a whiteboard in Zoom. All your annotation goes. Isn't that crazy? In other tools like WebEx, it'll stay on the PowerPoint slide you're on. But on Zoom, it goes with the slide by slide. So I'm going to clear out everything, guys. I'm going to start all over. Stop annotating for just a minute if you could. I'm going to clear everything out. Oops, somebody beat me to it. Okay, what I want you to do, let's just click on the T for text, and I want you to write out. Not a line, but write out. Try not to write on each other because we have so many people in this class. Tell me in 2 or 3 words what you're feeling right now related to this whole virtual experience. Are you nervous? Are you excited to be doing it? Are you stressed out? Ooh, okay. It's easy. All right. Stressed, confused. Excited to not go to school. Mixed emotion. That is really good. You get to save gas money. Okay, this is good. Bernie 2020, thank you. Okay, comfortable, confused, not that bad. Yeah, it is overwhelming. Somebody's on Eastern time right now? So I would assume even though you're on Eastern time, or no matter where you are, you should be okay with our 1 o'clock Pacific time class, is that right?
Professor, it's me, it's Jordan. Yes, I'm fine with it. It's just hard to keep up with group things.
Okay, did you, thanks Jordan. Did you communicate that with your group, that you're on Eastern time now?
I'm trying, but we all have our own challenges right now. So we haven't really discussed group things.
Gotcha. If it gets to be a problem, let me send me an email, okay?
Thank you, of course.
I'm going to clear this out, guys. Let's stop for just a minute. And I'm going to write something out here. And this is our Zoom etiquette here. But I can't spell etiquette. Okay, you guys spell it. Come on. Quit laughing at me. And I'm supposed to be teacher, right? Okay, here's one thing. No political comments. We need to put these ground rules out here. You know, it does nothing but polarize people, and we don't want to do that. All your chats need to be professional. I'm going to let you put some things out here that you appreciate. They need to be professional and respectful, which I know you will be. I already talked about this. Videos, turn off if you're leaving the room or you don't want us to see something. What else can you guys think of?
Just try to cut out background noise.
Yeah,
Mute
can
if
you
not
keep us
talking.
all muted and then us unmute ourselves?
Okay, I'll try it. You guys are all muted. So can you hear me okay? And
Yeah.
can somebody unmute and see if that worked? David, you unmuted?
Yes, it works.
Can temporarily unmute.
You're fun.
Asked me if I wanted to be unmuted.
Am I? Nope. I'm on. Okay now.
Yeah, I think the best thing is just holding down the space bar when we are talking and then removing it when we're not. So just
No snacking on camera. That's a good one, guys. I didn't think about that. But can we have something to drink? Water?
Professor, I don't know how you guys are doing it. Sorry.
Oh, no worry. Don't worry. Go ahead, Leah.
For people who are on mobile, does it work out? Like trying to talk when you're muted?
Are you saying that if you're on mobile that you can't unmute? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just wondering if you can unmute if you're on mobile or something that's not a desktop.
For those of you, I think there's a handful of you on mobile. Can you tell us? Because I've not used the mobile app for Zoom. No? Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about while we're on the Zoom etiquette subject? Do you guys want to throw it out there in your chat? So if I hear you guys right, you want me to mute all and let you all unmute when you're ready to talk, right? Okay.
yes,
got
please.
it. Okay, I just muted all right now. So please do unmute when you're ready to talk. Let's go. Oh, there's a good question here. What's going to happen with the group presentations? I think we'll be okay. I would like to, you guys have the ability, unless I prohibit it, but I haven't done that. You have the ability to share your own screens. So what I'm envisioning, and again, remember, be patient because I haven't sorted this whole thing out, but I'm envisioning that I would let you share your screen, and as a team, then you can share your PowerPoint, and maybe I give 5, 6, 7 minutes and you walk through it. The reason I'm doing this, I'm not judging your presentation skills or anything like that, but I want you to share with your other classmates what you found out, what your learnings were. I think they're interested in that. Would you guys agree? No? Yes?
I agree, Professor.
Do you? Okay. Then let's plan on that. Just at least, I think I can make it work, just allowing you to share your own screen, and we'll keep it on the schedule as if we're fine with that for now, okay? But remember, TGI flexible if anything changes. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go off whiteboard. So what we did so far, you guys were all able to annotate, or did anybody need help annotating? All good? Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention, since we're getting everybody on the same page here. I will be recording all of these sessions. So I will be recording them, and then I'll create a folder on Titanium on your course page. And if for whatever reason you cannot attend, you can review those later. If you, due to illness or serious issues with family members, otherwise, I hope all of you will come to these sessions. Because I think one of the worst things we can do on a virtual session is get disconnected. And in fact, I'm going to ask you guys this. For those of you, 75% of you have done virtual classes, right? You tell me, I'm going to clear this out. You tell me what your biggest challenge was in the past related to virtuals. Bad connections? Keeping up on deadlines? Not getting distracted, time management, deadlines?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to self-discipline, just checking in.
Yeah,
How,
I hear that a lot. Go ahead.
sir, how can you type on there? I'm sorry, I'm having difficulty doing that. Like, where do
No
I?
worries. Are you on laptop?
Yes.
Can somebody on laptop walk them through the steps you took, please?
Thank you.
You guys, any of you, go ahead and just shout it out what you did to annotate on your laptop.
You go to the view options at the top, click that bar and then click annotations.
And when you click annotation, you'll see your annotation toolbar pop up, right? Are you able to see it now? Okay. Let me know. Send a chat if that didn't work. Send a chat out, and we can also send them out on chat for you, the instructions. So if I hear you guys right, oh, somebody circled communication, group projects, Wi-Fi. Are you guys hearing okay? Is your connection okay so far? Because one thing I've never tested out before is this big of a group setting. Zoom has upgraded their servers and they've put all kinds of technology on to supplement, but I was just a bit nervous about that. Not clear about what has to be done. For right now, what has to be done, let me see if I can clarify it. Keep going with your video quizzes. That's the best thing you can do. Read the chapters and keep going with your video review questions and your video quizzes. And then get ready for your exam number 2 next week. I'll send the study guide out. And then follow your syllabus for everything else. By the end of the day today, I'll post a new syllabus with those deadlines moving. So you'll have everything, okay? But I know it gets kind of crazy because you guys are all different classes and now they're all going online, right? So for those of you who said, and I know it's the biggest, most of you are saying this, that it's the hardest part is staying on track, not getting distracted, scheduling everything, keeping up with commitments. Are there any tools you're using that have helped you? Just go ahead and whiteboard them out. If there's anything you're using that you think, or put it in chat.
Or the previous one was better.
That or just shout it out. If you guys want to talk, just talk.
So we good. Keith, what do you think?
What tools? What tips?
Either way is fine.
They're both the same.
Google Docs. Google Calendar, iCalendar, okay. Checklist. Anything in titanium that helps you? Or do they not have anything that great?
Yeah, I would say just checking in on titanium, keeping up with the syllabus.
Okay. Getting used to checking your email daily. Yeah, I wish there was a way I could auto text you guys, but I can't. Not that you want us to. I don't know that you want your professors. I know it's pressure having everybody consistently update. I will do my best to control it so you're not getting bombarded with messages. None on titanium. Your brain. That must be a big brain you got going on there.
Professor, I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
Regarding the presentation, you did say that we were going to be sharing our screens. I was just going to ask, would it be better for us to just record a pre-recorded video already, and we just submit it on some sort of list that you have on Titanium? That way we're not really having all the messes like live.
Yeah, I am not opposed at all to the video. I mean, the downside is you can't get any questions coming in from your audience, right? From your other classmates.
Sorry, just adding to that, I thought we didn't have to present because you said our class was too big.
Well, we're going to have, the last I counted, we had 30 or 40 teams, somewhere in there. And if we do it across 2 classes and say we limit it to 3 or 4 minutes, we'll be okay. I really think we can fit it in. Especially if all it is share a screen.
Hi, Professor. How are we going to get participation points for attending these Zoom classes?
Good question, but I haven't decided that yet. Today, for the first time, I checked out the poll questions, and maybe I'll use that. But to do that, I have to see if the poll questions allow me to track who put their answer in. I have to see when I download it. So I haven't decided that. There's also the option of using iClicker on top of this, but I'm really hesitant to go back to iClicker and just put another tool on top of it. For right now, so as soon as I make a decision on that, I'll let you know. And I know you guys are just saying there's too many updates, but things are really changing drastically.
Thank you.
And so we're having to adjust everything. For right now, I'm going to ask you this though. Can everybody just chat out your full name to me? So at least for today, I know who stayed on our call. Chat out your full name.
David Montes.
Oh, if you can put it in chat, please.
Oh.
Then I'll have a record of it. Yeah. Thank you, David. So I'm going to go back to our presentation where we were at. Sorry, I'm using dual screens here at my home, so I keep having to look away. I'm not trying to be crazy. It's just when I have these multiple screens running. Anyway, thank you guys for sending a chat out to me. For right now, I just want to know who stayed with us for the whole class. We're going to wrap up here. By the way, like I said, I'm going to record this. You guys will be able to click on it and listen to the whole thing. So
are we going to vote on the?
Go ahead.
Sorry about that. Are we going to vote on the video book being the test? Because I know a lot of people in the chat. There's 2 sides to it. There's a lot of people saying the video book should be the exam, and a lot of people saying they don't want the video book to be the exam. So I don't. How are we going to solve that? Are we going to vote on it, or do you have any actual plan to deciding it? Or
I don't know yet. Let me go back. Our colleagues are meeting this afternoon. There might be a reason why we can't even use video book, even if we want to. So I'm gonna, if it's allowed to go either way, I'll put a poll question up there Thursday. Does that sound? Wednesday at our next class. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So guys, let's wrap it up. We already talked about the service mix, right? You guys, there's a lot of you that are doing a service and not a product. So when you start working on your service, you still have to decide what service you're going to introduce, what services to maintain, and then your 4 Ps, right? Your place, your product, your promotion. And when you start thinking about your promotion, remember, you got to put some tangible cues out there. Put some colors. If it's a service, they need to see it. Music, logo, brand, all that kind of stuff comes into play. If you're designing a service, you really want post-purchase communication. You want to keep them engaged. Pricing, how are you going to price your service? And if you're going to, especially when you're marketing services and even in products, you really want to think heavily about your relationship strategy. How are you going to keep them engaged? Are you going to use financial incentives, social incentives? Are you going to do customization, structural, whereby if you do so many visits in 1 month that you get some kind of other perk? And remember that your employees' internal marketing. You guys remember us talking about this, right? This will be on the exam. It's the process whereby you market to your internal employees, not your external, outside. That's your employees, because they have to be on board with everything you're doing. Because if they're not on board with everything and they can't promote it and they can't get behind it, your service is going to fail. So you've got to communicate with your internal employees in a service firm. It's called internal marketing. NPOs. You guys know what it are? Is anybody, raise your hand if anybody's doing a nonprofit for your group project. Is anybody doing a nonprofit? Or I don't see any hands raised. But we're hearing a lot of that right now, right? We're hearing from a lot of NPOs right now that are talking about what they're doing to help the homeless, or they're talking about what they're doing to help businesses. So if you're running a nonprofit, that comes under the umbrella of a service firm. And you have to still serve your customers. You have to identify who your customer base is. You have to identify your goals. You have to manage your programs and services. So you still have to deliver value, right? You have to have prices. If you're going to charge, what is it going to be? Schedule your programs, but most of it is about your programs and events. So, for example, if it's Michael J. Fox, then you're going to have programs that they offer. If it's a suicide prevention, you're going to have activities, and you have to communicate their availability. So what are we hearing? So you have to make a lot of difficult decisions, right? Talk about their complexity, their strength, their involvement, and determine how you're going to get them out to your audience. And here's what we're hearing about right now. Have you guys been hearing about a lot of these public service announcements? It's an announcement that promotes programs of federal, state, local, or nonprofit. So isn't this just exploding a bit for us right now? You're hearing from a lot of groups. So remember, when you make pricing decisions for a nonprofit, your objective is to defray your cost, not achieve a profit, right? How are you going to defray your cost? And you have non-financial prices. Like customers of an NPO, they still spend, but they spend with their time. They don't spend money. Their indirect payment, they still pay, right? You still have to pay your bills for fire, taxes, and then donors versus recipients. So separation between payers and users. Who are the donors, who are the recipients, and sometimes you'll price below cost. That's what universities do. So pay attention to all this, especially if you're going to go down the path of a nonprofit in your future. And I want you to keep your eyes open for this. What are the public service announcements going on right now? So with that, let me ask this before we end. I'm going to see if I can do a quick poll. And I'm going to do it before we wrap up. Let me not do that. I'm not even going to launch this. Send it out, your comments to me in chat on what do you think of our guest speaker, Pete Fronte from Altura. what input would you have if he were to come in front of our classes in the future? Would you give me any input that I can pass on to him? Did you find him valuable? No. You know, when our guest speakers come in, they ask me a lot. They say, how did everybody like it? What can I do better next time? So thank you guys for these comments. I see a lot coming in. Follow his company. Follow him on LinkedIn. He is a really humble man. Yeah. You know, somebody felt like he downplayed the virus. It's a fine line we walk, right? How much, we don't want to panic, but anyway, that is really good input. Some of you put good hearing from an entrepreneur. You're right, if you're going down that path. You guys, I really appreciate you sharing this with me. I'm going to take these comments back to him. So continue to put in chat any comments you have for me to pass on to him. I really appreciate hearing that. And also, just unmute your speaker or chat out if you have any more questions before our Wednesday class. Anto, I'm glad you like he was Italian. He is through and through, believe me. What other questions, guys? What have we not talked about? Are you feeling better about going forward on Zoom? Even in our big classes or this?
Yeah, definitely feel a lot better about it.
Good, good. Anything else outstanding before? Oh, I'm glad you like it. Is there anything else outstanding before we drop off? Easier than expected. Good to hear. You know, like I mentioned, I will make it very clear what your call-in numbers are. I know I sent a message last night. I just wanted to get everybody in here. Oh, Thomas, you asked about our virtual instruction. The college is saying April 26th. I'm just not quite sure. I have my doubts. That's Diana's opinion. It's not the college's opinion. We'll see. We'll see.
Doubts as in it'll stop prior or it'll continue on?
I have a gut feeling it'll continue on. But even if it does go back to on-site, even if it does, if they say April 26th, we can go on-site, it's only going to be for a week or two. We're already almost at the end, right?
Yeah, it just makes sense to finish it out.
Yeah, so we'll see. On that, all I can say is we're going to play it out. There's really nothing more. I agree. I think it's a little ambitious.
Hi, sorry.
Anto, I hear. Yeah,
last,
go ahead.
Yeah, last question. Sorry. I know I asked a lot today. I was gonna say, I know the problem I have with the iClicker is because we already, like, a lot of us already paid for it, or I mean, all of us already paid for it. So that's the only thing I have a problem with. Like, we already paid for it, and if we don't use it for the rest of the semester, it's kind of a waste, I feel like.
Okay. Okay. Point well taken. Thank you.
No problem.
I'll keep that in mind. And we may very well relaunch it. I just didn't want to put too much out there today. You guys, if you have, and you know this already, if you need a room, if you want to go on campus and you want to call in on their equipment in a private room, you know they have groups and places for you to do that, right? Okay. Who knows? Well, you guys, how much did they give you back? Is there anything else before we conclude for today? You guys, thank you for hanging with me today. Thank you for being patient. I really hope, at the end of the day, we're going to get through this together. All will be okay. And you're going to walk away at the end of your classes. Trust me. I've been through 9/11. I've been through, it'll all work out. This too shall pass. Just keep saying that to yourself, right? Learning is learning, no matter where we are. Okay, guys. We'll see you on Wednesday, right?
See you.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Right.
Thank
Wednesday.
you. Thank you for playing along.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank
You
you.
too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Diana.
You betcha. We'll see you Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Bye.